What's going on, YouTube? Jonathan Kirchner here, and today we're going to talk about business development. Personally, I think so many recruiters overcomplicate this process of getting clients, and a lot of times what I see is they get in their own way. So today I'm going to show you how to get out of your own way and specifically create a process that's going to help you get clients more consistently. Now, spoiler alert, this is going to involve you investing a little bit of money. It doesn't need to be a lot of money, but I'm going to show you and hopefully convince you why that is so important. Now, before I share my screen here, I'm just going to preface this a little bit by saying that I'm going to share with you just a trial run that I'm doing with a new potential virtual assistant partner. Now, I don't know about you. If you have your own recruiting business, you probably can relate to what I'm about to say. But I get emails every single day being pitched by different offshore agencies or different freelance virtual assistants to help me with client acquisition or to help me with sourcing. And it's great. Personally, I don't mind marketing emails. I always think it's so funny when people get so mad at you when you send them a marketing email, in our case, recruiters, trying to get clients and offer them help to fill their jobs. I just think it's funny when they get mad because I'm like, hey, what's the worst thing that can happen here? Best case scenario, I'll help you fill your job. Anyways, but I don't get mad at that. So I responded to one recently and he said, hey, I'll set you up with a free trial. And so I customized the trial and I basically said, I want you to build me a list of this many or so potential leads, and here's exactly the criteria that I want. Now, for me personally, I do recruiting. I work on contingency, which means I don't get paid until I fill the role for my client. And I have a certain niche that I focus on. This was kind of just a test. I actually was testing a couple different broad niches. Niches. I know people that say that word differently, and now I'm all insecure about the right way to say it. I'm going to say niche for now because I feel like most people like saying niche. Okay. Anyways, let me go ahead and share my screen. I am going to blur out some of the contact information here, but rest assured, with an email finding tool, you can find all this information pretty easily. It's just their corporate email, which is not too hard to find. If you don't know how to do that, check out some of my other videos on that. But let me go ahead and share my screen. So what you see here in the yellow, he built a list here. I said, give me some hiring managers that, and then also I want you to link to open jobs that they have, okay? So the first thing that we want to do when we're trying to get a new client, we want to find, ideally, that they have a position that they're hiring for on their website. If they don't have a position that they're hiring for, then it's kind of hard to pitch our service, our recruiting service to them, right? I don't know if you've ever gotten the response before, if you're not being careful. Hey, I saw you had a job opening on your site, and they're like, we don't have any openings on our site. So that's step number one. Ideally, we can find a job opening. Me personally, I like to approach hiring managers with a bird in hand. So in this case, let's check this out. So if we come over here, we can actually see what this virtual assistant did is he just put a link to he found the job, he found job openings, he put a link to the job, he put the job title, which is what I asked him to do. I told him I don't want large companies, so keep it under a 200 employee headcount. And then he put the industry over here. So this is just a sample list that he did. He just did a trial for me. I'm going to talk about that here in a second and why everyone should do what I'm showing you right here. So we have our avatar here. We have our client avatar that is so important, right? You want to get, when you're doing a small recruiting business like I am, or freelance recruiting, whatever you want to call it, you want to make sure that you're going after companies that actually need what you have to offer. Obviously, going after Amazon as a client, probably going to be a pretty tough sell considering they're, a $1 trillion company. They have hundreds of recruiters already, probably not going to have a huge need for your service. So this is the way that I always approach it. I go after these smaller companies. All right, so then what he did, and this is really what I want you to see, he put the website that the company website, he put their LinkedIn profile, he put the company name, then he put the LinkedIn URL for, now this is the key part, over on the left-hand side, the most likely hiring manager. Now this is the piece of information that I had the, hello Emmanuel, his little profile just popped up there. That I had the virtual assistant do. I said, I want you to find the job opening And then you don't want to give VAs too much to do. You want to keep the tasks pretty simple and straightforward. So this is the one thing, a bit of investigation that they had to do. They had to try to determine who the most likely hiring manager is for this role. All right, so let's take this first one, for example. So this is a front-end a software engineer, right? So he found this opening. And let me make my screen just a little bigger here. He found this opening online. He found the link over here. So then he goes over to the company page, right? Over on LinkedIn, slide back over here. And he says, all right, here's the co-founder. And then here's also a founder and CEO. Looks like they're probably brothers because they have the same last name. So then he put them in here. Now, here's what I want you to see. When you are trying to get new clients, so many are doing this, and they're doing this on their own. And this is exactly how I started as well. What it took me years to figure out was this bottleneck of trying to build lists like this is such an easy thing to outsource. And for Pete's sake, you can get guys to build lists for you for free and just trial them and see how you like them. So everyone should be doing this, because in any business, you have to get your marketing out and done in spite of your personal effort or your time. Do you know what I mean? I heard that said, I don't know, it was 15 years ago. I was listening to some business podcast, and I remember the guy kept saying, make sure you get your marketing done in spite of you. And I was like, when I first heard that, I was like, what does he mean by in spite of you? What he means is that we tend to get in our own way. We get busy, we wake up, life hits us. If you've got a family, if you've got kids, I've got 4 kids, and there's just so much going on. And then you've got your work. And if you run a business, you've got everything under the sun that could occupy your time. But the number one thing that's going to produce money, which is the thing that we're trying to do here, we're trying to do deals, close deals, is we have to make sure that we are getting new lifeblood into our business at all times. If we're not doing that, then we're making a huge mistake. If you're not bringing in new leads somehow in your recruiting business, and you're sitting on your hands, or you're doing a million other things, you're setting up CRMs, you're setting up an ATS, all that stuff that can be fun, but let's be honest, it doesn't move the needle when it comes to bringing in more revenue for your business. So my point and why I'm sharing this with you is I'm saying, I keep hovering over these links and the little link preview keeps popping up. You need to get this done in spite of your efforts. So that's why you can hire a virtual assistant for $200 to $300 a month part-time that will build you lists like this. And then what you can do from here, you can reach out to these hiring managers and you can build a targeted, specific pitch to that job opening that they have. So in other words, if it's the front-end engineer role, now we've already got the hiring manager here. They did a great job identifying the most likely hiring manager. I gave them a little bit of guidance on that, but not too much. And then now we have this. I don't need to go do all the research. I don't need to scroll through Indeed or LinkedIn Jobs or Monster or whatever. I have a list right here I can work from. And then I can create my own process that's really simple of how to email these people. And again, we've already got all that information right here. And the one thing that he didn't include, you might notice there's no email on here. He did say we can get that, we'll get that verified emails for you, assuming I want to move forward. But this is absolutely something, you can see this column right here, work emails empty, but it will be full when you actually hire a virtual assistant. Okay, so I want to take a few minutes and show you how you can hire your own virtual assistant to do exactly this. So I'm over here on Upwork. If you don't know what Upwork is, it's probably the easiest one-stop shop place to find and hire and actually pay and work with and track their time a virtual assistant anywhere all over the world. I personally like to hire virtual assistants in the Philippines if you can, but I've hired them all over the world. Usually I just look at the hourly rate, to be honest with you, because we're trying to do these tasks as cheaply as possible. And when you're doing something as simple as list building like this, you really don't need, it's not rocket science, right? So for me, I'm mostly going to be interested in the rate and the quality of the work. And there's no long-term, contract here. If they're not doing a good job, you can fire them. So, all right, so let's just do email list building, right? And you'll notice as I put that in here, it automatically populates because it's a popular thing to search for here on Upwork. So if we're under the talent tab right here, you'll notice names start popping up right here, and you're gonna get all kinds of individuals who do this kind of thing. Now, for me personally, I'm gonna scroll down and I'm going to go to, let's see. So now we're just looking at profiles of individuals. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna create a job on Upwork because that's gonna allow you to actually invite them to a job. All right, so what you're going to wanna do is you're gonna wanna come up here to hire and you're gonna click post a job. All right, let's walk through this entire process, A to Z, not too difficult. So let's do just something real easy. Email list building. Lead generation, sounds good. Go to next skills. We're just gonna keep this really simple because it doesn't need to be super complicated. List building, data entry, prospect list, email marketing. Sure, all these are great. Okay, industry. Let's see. It's not really that pertinent. LeanJet software. HubSpot market at Oracle. No, I don't really care about any of that because we're just gonna, all we're really concerned about is small, straightforward, how long will your work take? Let's say 1 to 3 months. Let's say intermediate. It could become full-time. It's always better to say it can become full-time just because most virtual assistants, they wanna know that this could be, we're gonna say worldwide, this could turn into something possibly this could turn into something promising. And all right, so next on budget here, we're just gonna say from $2 an hour to $10 an hour. All right, $3 an hour, whatever. Next description, and we're just gonna say simple list building. Find job openings. Identify decision makers, find their email, let's say find and verify their email, find job openings, add company name, add LinkedIn profile. Cool. And we're just gonna start with this. That's it. So now that you have the job posted, your job's now live. Now, of course, Upwork's gonna invite you to spend a little bit of money if you wanna get more applicants. It is free to post. And look, you can invite 30 freelancers, which is pretty cool. Yeah, this is gonna pop up. It'll say, hey, for one-time fee. And this is great. If you're trying to hire quick, I've done this before, the boost is awesome. I'm not gonna do it right now. But now what we can do is we can say, all right, it'll identify some individuals that look like they're good fits. And then you can click invite to job. So for me, I'm gonna click on the filters here and we're going to whittle this down a little bit. We're gonna go to job success. Yeah, 90% and up, that's pretty good. Rising talent, top rated. Oh, it only lets us select one at a time. All right, $10 and below. And then let's see. Now this is interesting. You can do freelancers or agencies. I'm just gonna do freelancers for now. You tend to get a better rate. And hours billed, we're gonna do at least 100 plus hours billed. Usually you get better quality with that. All right, great. So now we've got data entry, contact list building. I'm gonna invite him to the job, send invitation. So once you do that, they'll get basically a little email on their inbox. They'll get notified via email. I am looking for individuals that are under the $5 an hour rate. And I'm gonna keep going here. And because the reason why I'm mostly gonna be focused on rate here is you really don't need, like, you don't need like super deep. You do need quality. Like if we look back at this list, this is pretty good. Now, then what we're gonna do is, and it's all, you know, if they're doing a bad job a week or two into it, then we're gonna have to move on. We'll tell them that. we are going to still interview them. We're going to jump on a Zoom call. We're going to explain the project, make sure that it all makes sense. And then we'll get them in Slack and I'll communicate with them. But it's really pretty straightforward. Every day there should be at least 50 to 100 targeted leads. I don't really want to spend more than, let's call it like $15, $20 a day for, let's say, 50 to 100 emails. I would like to see closer to 100 emails on that. That's going to be my target goal. That's 3,000 targeted potential emails that I can be sending. That's more than enough for me to have a consistent pipeline of clients, if that makes sense. So for me, you're looking at max like $300, $400, maybe $500 a month if they're giving really great, doing really quality work. All right. So that's it. That's all you got to do. And once you get the conversation going, you'll get people that are interested in this contract. You just want to define exactly, how many hours, what's your budget, make sure you're clear on all that up front so you can explain that to them. And then make sure you get the right fields so that you know what they need to go after. And that's pretty much it. By the end of this, you should have, like we talked about at the beginning of this video, you should have a very scalable marketing plan for your recruiting business, or you could even use this for other businesses depending on what business you might be in. So I hope you found this video super helpful. If you'd like to check out more information, be sure to go to headhuntersacademy.com. I'll put a link beneath this video. We've got a free community, there's free training, there's all sorts of stuff. I've got a free ebook that you can get in our free community if you'd like to grab that as well. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. All right.